The rain fell in sheets on Outpost Helios, drumming against the biodome's transparent ceiling. Maya Reeves pushed her dark hair from her face as she carefully documented the growth patterns of the luminescent ferns she'd been studying for months. The isolation of the research station usually suited her perfectly, just her plants. In the occasional transmission from Earth Central, growth rate increased by 12%, she murmured into her recorder. The adaptation to the nitrogen-rich soil is progressing faster than anticipated. A flash of lightning illuminated the jungle beyond the biodome's walls. Maya paused, squinting through the downpour. Something had moved out there. Something that didn't belong in the catalog of local fauna. Computer. End recording, she said, reaching for her rain jacket. Log sample data and save. Against better judgment, Maya stepped through the airlock and into the storm. The warm rain immediately soaked through her clothes as she followed the strange tracks in the mud. Protocol dictated reporting any anomalies immediately. But curiosity had always been her weakness. The tracks led her to a small cave hidden behind a cascade of violet vines. Inside, huddled against the stone wall, was a boy, or at least, something boy-shaped. His skin was a pale purple, almost translucent in the dim light. Dark blood oozed from a wound on his side. "Hello?" Maya whispered, crouching to appear less threatening. "Are you hurt?" The alien child flinched, his large iridescent eyes reflecting Maya's image back at her. He couldn't have been more than 13 in human years, with delicate features and hair like spun silver. "I won't hurt you," she said softly, extending her hand. "I'm Maya." The boy trembled but didn't retreat further. He pressed his hand against his wound and whispered something in a language of musical clicks and hums. Maya's heart raced. The Terran Empire's stance on alien contact was clear, report, and contain. The treaties following the border skirmishes had established strict segregation between species. Helping this boy would be treason. "You need medical attention," she said, making her decision. "Can you walk?" The boy nodded weakly. As he tried to stand, a small device fell from his tattered clothing, a translator. Maya activated it. "They're hunting me," came the boy's voice through the device, fragile but clear. "Please don't tell them." "Who's hunting you?" Maya asked, helping him to his feet. "The collectors. They want what I can do." His eyes glowed briefly. One of Maya's sample bags floated gently off her belt, hovering between them. Maya gasped. Telekinesis was rare even among the known alien species. No wonder he was being hunted. "I'm Zephyr," he said, the translator converting his clicks into words. "Will you help me?" A distant rumble echoed through the jungle, not thunder, but engines. Someone else had tracked the boy to Helios. "We need to move," Maya whispered, making a choice that would change her life forever. "My research station has medical supplies." As they hurried through the rain, Maya glanced at the Imperial emblem on her jacket. For the first time in her life, she questioned where her loyalty truly belonged. Back at the biodome. Maya sealed the entrance and disabled the automatic reports to Earth Central. As she cleaned Zephyr's wound, she realized she had just become a traitor to her species, and she couldn't bring herself to regret it. The days blended together as Maya kept Zephyr hidden in a storage room behind her laboratory. She had converted the space into a makeshift bedroom, blankets piled on a cot and spare clothes altered to fit his slender frame. His wound was healing well under her care, purple skin knitting together faster than she'd expected. "Your cellular regeneration is remarkable," Maya noted, changing his bandage. "Does everyone from your world heal this quickly?" Zephyr's translator hummed before responding. "No, only those with the gift." He demonstrated by levitating a small plant pot from across the room. His eyes glowing softly. Maya had learned that Zephyr was a Lyrishan, from a planet several systems away. His people were known for their peaceful nature and occasional psychic abilities which made them targets for exploitation throughout the galaxy. "You've been practicing," she smiled. Genuinely impressed by his control, a sharp knock at the main door made them both freeze. Maya motioned for Zephyr to stay quiet as she closed the hidden panel to his room. "Enter," she called. Hastily arranging her research notes, Commander Elias Norton strode in. his gray uniform immaculate as always. His eyes swept the laboratory with practiced precision. "Dr. Reeves?" He nodded curtly. "You've missed 2 scheduled reports." Maya forced a casual smile. "My apologies, Commander. The storm damaged some equipment. I've been focused on repairs." Elias studied her face. They had history of brief romance when Maya first arrived at Helios 3 years ago, before she realized his ambition outweighed any affection he might have felt. "Interesting," he said. Picking up one of her samples, Central received reports of an unidentified spacecraft crashing near this sector. "Any unusual observations to report?" Maya's heart hammered in her chest. "Nothing beyond the storm damage." Elias stepped closer, his cologne mingling with the earthy scent of her laboratory. "Maya," he said, his voice softening, "if you've seen something, you need to tell me. Harboring non-humans is treason." "I'm aware of Imperial law, Commander," she replied coolly. "My loyalty isn't in question." Something shifted in his expression, disappointment, perhaps, or suspicion. "See that your next report is on time," he said finally, turning to leave. At the door, he paused. "The patrol ships will be scanning this area for the next week. For your safety, of course." After he left, Maya released a shaky breath and reopened the hidden panel. Zephyr sat huddled in the corner, his eyes wide with fear. "He knows," the boy whispered. Maya shook her head. "He suspects, but he doesn't know. We need to be more careful." That night, unable to sleep, Maya found Zephyr studying her botanical journals. "Your plants," he said softly. "They're like the ones my mother grew." Maya sat beside him. "Tell me about your family." Zephyr's eyes dimmed. "The collectors took them, because they couldn't do this." He gestured, and the lights in the room flickered in response. "They were testing us, looking for the gift. When they found I had it, they ... double quotes." His voice broke. Without thinking, Maya pulled him into an embrace. The alien boy tensed, then relaxed against her. His soft sobs the only sound in the quiet room. "I'll keep you safe," she promised. Though she had no idea how to fulfill those words, as days passed, their bond deepened. Zephyr helped with her research, his innate understanding of plant life accelerating her work dramatically. In turn, she taught him about Earth culture and history. What she didn't tell him was that each day, the patrol ships came closer, and Elias's visits grew more frequent and pointed. Time was running out. The alarm blared at midnight, jolting Maya from sleep. Red emergency lights bathed her quarters in an ominous glow. Security. "Breach in Sector 7, the computerized voice announced. "All personnel report to designated stations. Sector 7, her laboratory." Maya sprinted through the corridors, reaching the lab just as armed security officers were forcing open the hidden panel. Commander Elias stood watching, his face grim. "No," Maya shouted, pushing past the guards, but it was too late. The hidden room was empty, the ventilation grate removed from the wall. Elias seized her arm. "Where is it, Maya?" "He," she corrected angrily, "is a child, and I don't know where he went." "You've committed treason," Elias hissed. "Do you understand what that means?" A distant crash echoed through the facility, followed by shouts. Elias's communicator buzzed. "Sir, the alien has breached the east airlock. It's heading for the jungle." Elias shoved Maya toward the guards. "Detain her while I organize the search party," as he hurried away. The younger of the 2 guards leaned closer to Maya. "Dr. Reeves," he whispered, "I can help. My sister married a Centaurian. Not all of us agree with the segregation laws." 10 minutes later, Maya was racing through the jungle, guided by the guards' directions. The rain had returned, masking her footprints as she followed the faint trail. Zephyr had left broken branches and disturbed undergrowth that only a botanist would notice. She found him huddled beneath the massive roots of an ancient tree, shivering and frightened. "Maya," he cried as she approached. "I'm sorry. Heard them coming and ran." "It's okay," she panted, helping him up. "But we can't go back. They'll be searching everywhere." A twig snapped behind them. Maya whirled around, pushing Zephyr behind her protectively. A man emerged from the shadows, his weathered face partially hidden beneath a hood. His clothes were practical but worn, and a blaster hung low on his hip. "Well, well," he drawled. "What have we here? A scientist and her little purple friend? Who are you?" Maya demanded, reaching for the stun rod in her belt. The stranger raised his hands in mock surrender. "Name's Krev Soren. Smuggler, occasional thief, full-time disappointment to the Empire." He grinned, revealing a gold tooth. "And currently, your only chance of getting off this rock before Commander Norton puts both your heads on pikes?" Maya narrowed her eyes. "Why would you help us?" "Let's just say I owe someone who cares about keeping Laurentians safe." His gaze shifted to Zephyr, "especially ones with special talents." A distant shout echoed through the trees, followed by the whine of scanners. "Decision time," Dr. Krev said, extending his hand. "My ship's hidden 2 kilometers north. We can make it if we leave now." Maya looked at Zephyr, then back at the biodome that had been her home for years. Everything she had worked for was there: her research, her career, her life. "Maya." Zephyr's voice was small, uncertain. She took his hand, then nodded to Krev. "Lead the way." Krev's ship, the Vagrant's Dream, was a patchwork of salvaged parts that somehow managed to fly. As they broke atmosphere, Imperial patrol ships appeared on the scanner. "Hold on," Krev shouted, pushing the engines beyond their limits. The ship shuddered violently as they accelerated into the jump point, leaving Helios on their pursuers behind. Maya exhaled shakily. "Where are we going?" "Somewhere the Empire pretends doesn't exist," Krev replied cryptically, punching coordinates into the navigation system. 3 days later, he emerged from hyperspace near an unremarkable asteroid field. Krev guided the ship through a complex path between the floating rocks until a massive asteroid came into view, one with lights glittering across its surface. "Welcome to Concordia," he announced proudly. As they docked inside a cavernous hangar, Maya stared in wonder. The asteroid had been hollowed out and transformed into a thriving settlement. Humans worked alongside various alien species, their interactions marked by easy familiarity rather than fear. "This is impossible," she whispered. "Not impossible," came a melodic voice behind them. Just hidden, a tall woman with striking features approached. Like Zephyr, her skin was purple, though deeper in tone, and her silver hair was elaborately braided. Lyra Krev nodded respectfully. "Package delivered, as promised." Zephyr gasped, his eyes wide. "Elder Nalai, you're alive." The woman smiled warmly, kneeling to embrace the boy. "Yes, child. Many of us escaped." She turned to Maya, her gaze penetrating. "You saved him at great personal cost." "The Lyretians, thank you." "I did what was right," Maya replied simply. Nalai led them through Concordia, explaining how the colony had formed after the border skirmishes, a refuge where species could coexist peacefully, away from imperial control. Scientists, artists, and political refugees had built a society based on cooperation rather than domination. In a chamber filled with softly glowing crystals, Nalai revealed the truth about Zephyr. "He is rare, even among our kind," she explained. "His gift connects to the fundamental energies of life itself. With training, he could heal ecosystems, restore barren worlds." Maya remembered how her plants had flourished under his care. "That's why the collectors wanted him." "Yes," Nalai nodded grimly. "But the Empire wants him for another reason. They've discovered that his abilities can be weaponized as to destroy as well as create." "I would never hurt anyone," Zephyr protested. Krev, who had been silently observing, finally spoke. "Kid, they wouldn't give you a choice that night." In the quarters assigned to her, Maya stared at the artificial sky projected on the ceiling. She thought of her research now lost, the years she had dedicated to the Empire's scientific cores. A soft knock interrupted her thoughts. It was Zephyr. "I can't sleep," he admitted. "Everything is different here, I know." Maya smiled sadly. "For me too." They sat together in comfortable silence until Zephyr asked, "Will you stay?" With us? Before she could answer, alarms blared throughout the colony. The central chamber of Concordia had transformed into a command center. Screens displayed an Imperial dreadnought approaching the asteroid field. How did they find us? Someone demanded. Krev cursed. My ship must have been tagged during our escape. Nalai remained calm. Activate the shields and prepare the evacuation protocols. Maya watched as the colonists mobilized with practiced efficiency. This wasn't their first encounter with Imperial forces. Commander Elias's face appeared on the main screen. Attention. Illegal settlement. We have detected fugitives from Outpost Helios in your location. Surrender Dr. Maya Reeves and the Lyrishan subject immediately, or face orbital bombardment. Nalai stepped forward. We reject your authority over this independent colony. Ilias's expression hardened. Then you've chosen destruction. The transmission cut off, and the Dreadnought's weapon systems began powering up. Our shields won't hold against that firepower, Krev warned. Zephyr trembled beside Maya. This is because of me. Maya knelt before him. No, this is because of their fear and greed. A plan formed in her mind, desperate but possible. Nalaic and Zephyr temporarily disable their systems. Not destroy, just interrupt. The elder hesitated. It would drain him significantly, but yes, with guidance. Then I'll go with him, Maya decided. In a small shuttle, we can approach undetected while they're focused on Concordia. It's suicide, Krev argued. It's a diversion, Maya countered. While we disrupt their systems, the colony evacuates. No one had a better plan. An hour later, Maya and Zephyr sat in a tiny shuttle, approaching the dreadnought from below. Nalai had given the boy a crystal that amplified his abilities, but warned that using it would leave him vulnerable afterward. Are you ready? Maya asked gently. Zephyr nodded, his young face set with determination. I'm scared, but I'll do it. As they neared the massive ship, Zephyr closed his eyes. The crystal glowed between his palms, and his entire body began to shimmer with energy. Maya watched in awe as tendrils of light extended from him, reaching toward the dreadnought. Suddenly, the Imperial ship's lights flickered and died. Its weapons powered down. Even its engines stalled. You did it? Maya exclaimed. Zephyr slumped in his seat, exhausted but smiling. How long will it last? Long enough, she replied, guiding their shuttle back toward Concordia. They returned to find the evacuation nearly complete. Only a skeleton crew remained, including Krev and Nalai. The other colonies had been warned, Nalai informed them. Our people will scatter and regroup at the contingency location. They'll hunt you forever, Maya realized aloud. Unless the Empire changes, Krev said, giving her a meaningful look. Maya understood then what she had to do. I need to go back. What? Zephyr cried. They'll imprison you. Or worse. Maya embraced him tightly. Not if I have evidence to bargain with. The Empire values knowledge above all else, and I know where to find proof of Concordia's achievements. Sustainable technologies, medical breakthroughs, it's advancements they've been struggling with for decades. Nalai nodded slowly. A dangerous gambit. Sometimes change needs to come from within, Maya said. Someone needs to tell the truth about cooperation between species. Show them what we can accomplish together instead of apart. Krev surprised her by volunteering to take her back. I know people who can get you to the right officials, ones who might actually. Listen, the Dreadnought's systems were beginning to recover. They had minutes, not hours. Zephyr clung to Maya. I don't want to lose you too. She knelt to his level, looking into his iridescent eyes. This isn't goodbye. It's just the beginning of something bigger. She pressed her research tablet into his hands. Keep learning. Keep growing. Someday we'll meet again in a better world. As Maya boarded Krev's ship, she looked back at the boy she had risked everything to save. He stood tall beside Nalai, no longer hiding or afraid. The real test was just beginning, not just for Maya or Zephyr, but for the future of human and alien relations. As Concordia vanished behind them and they set course for the heart of the Empire, Maya felt something she hadn't experienced in years. Hope.